The Lakers are blowing up. Rich Paul, LeBron's agent, just faced a huge public fight with Luka and Austin Reaves people. It all sparked from a crazy comment he made about trading one of them, or even both.
I were the Lakers, I would give serious consideration to moving Luka. I can get Luka and Austin are redundant.
I'm fine either way.
But that's only the start of the chaos. That one comment blew up into a massive fight. It got so loud that people had to jump in to stop it. And Rich Paul didn't quit there. He went on every show to bash Luka and Reaves while making LeBron look like a hero. I have the secret scoop on why this could end LeBron's career in the NBA. Let's be real, none of this is normal. It's not how agents act, and it's not how the NBA works. A team should be winning games, not fighting off rumors. Agents are supposed to stay quiet and stay in the back. Their job is to protect their players and keep the drama away. Look at Jeff Shorts. He represents Jokic and many other stars. You never see him talking trash about teammates on a podcast. He knows his job is to keep things calm. Rich Paul does the total opposite. He's always on a mic giving opinions no one asked for. He talks about players he doesn't even work with. This was already a mess, but then news broke about a real fight on the court. This isn't just a guess anymore. Think about how wild this is. An agent is publicly calling Luka and Austin Reaves the problem, but he never mentions LeBron's part in any of it. Rich Paul is acting like a secret boss who never has to pay for his mistakes. He acts like a shield for LeBron. Even top agents like Leon Rose were quiet and careful. That is the gold standard. Once you talk trash about your client's teammates, you cross a line you can't go back over. That's why this is so insane. This isn't just a slip-up. He knows he can say things other agents would never dare to say. That power comes from a system that has been fixing stories for years. LeBron stays clean, Rich Paul talks, and the media spreads the word. So why does he feel so safe? Why keep talking while the Lakers are failing? The answer starts with LeBron James. LeBron has spent 20 years being untouchable. When things go wrong, it's never his fault. When things go right, he gets all the fame. That's a system. LeBron doesn't roast teammates on podcasts because he has to look like the good guy. But Rich Paul is where the chaos happens. Paul can say anything about anyone, and the whole league can see it. Take the Reaves drama. Skip Bayless tweeted that Paul wants to trade Reaves for Jaren Jackson Jr. LeBron says it's just Paul's idea. Yeah, right. We know how this works. LeBron stays clean while Paul plants the seed. The timing is just weird too. Every time the Lakers hit a rough patch, Rich Paul is everywhere, and it never makes LeBron look bad. That is funny because the Lakers have been losing since LeBron came back. The numbers show the defense is way worse with LeBron on the floor. The Lakers give up more points when he plays. It's the difference between a bad team and a great one. The Lakers even win more games when LeBron stays home. You'd think the problem would be easy to see, but Rich Paul went back on a podcast and blamed the whole team instead.
I personally don't think the Lakers are good enough to be contenders right now. Not right now.
When you say contenders, what do you mean?
I don't think they have enough to get to the Western Conference Final.
This is pure madness. Everyone is getting blamed except the 41-year-old who won't retire and is dragging the team down. Rich Paul is doing what no other agent dares to do. He is using the media to protect LeBron's image and twist the story while LeBron stays silent. On a recent podcast, Paul dropped a bomb that shook the whole NBA to its core. It wasn't just what he said, but how he attacked his target. He flat out said, Luka doesn't play defense, just like that. He didn't say Luka needs work, he called it a major flaw while Luka is leading the team in points and elite passing. Remember what I said about the timing? Well, he didn't stop there. He called Anthony Davis, the guy traded away to get Luka, the real defensive star. Think about that. He's basically telling Luka, you are the problem, buddy. And it gets even funnier. Paul praised Nico Harrison, the GM who made that trade, as a genius. He acted like Harrison's defense wins championships move was brilliant. But get this, Harrison was fired just months ago because the Mavericks realized that trade was a massive mistake. Now it's a total mess. The Mavericks are failing without Luka. They're stuck at the bottom of the West after losing the best offensive player in the world. Meanwhile, Luka is averaging 37 points, 9 assists, and 8 boards for the Lakers. He is a superstar, but Paul is obsessed with his defense. He is framing AD as the hero, ignoring that AD isn't the same force anymore, and the Mavs are still struggling. Rich Paul is picking and choosing facts to make Luka look bad. It is scary how well it works. This isn't just personal, it's a plan. By trashing Luka and praising AD, Paul is telling fans the Lakers' future is in trouble. And through all this, LeBron stays safe. This is textbook media trickery. No wonder the tension is boiling over. And if you think it ended with that one comment, you're wrong. That was just the setup. It wasn't just Luka he attacked. Next, it led to a huge fight on the court. It all went down on January 14th at the Lakers-Hawks game. The air was thick with anger because after trashing Luka, Paul went on another show and said he'd trade Austin Reaves to Memphis for Jaren Jackson Jr.
If I was the Lakers, I would probably be targeting the Memphis Grizzlies as a trade partner
For?
Jaren Jackson.
Yeah. That'd be a great fit.
I would.
For whom?
You could say, let me withhold that, but this comes with
Austin Reaves.
This comes with a very unemotional attachment.
Let that sink in. This is a player who is currently on the Lakers and has been working his tail off next to LeBron. Now he is literally on the chopping block because of an agent who doesn't even work for him. If you think this is just talk, you're wrong. In the NBA, this is like a slap in the face in front of the whole world. And it didn't even stop there. On another show, Paul went even further. He suggested that Austin should just accept being a bench player, sitting quietly while stars like LeBron take the spotlight.
Really, Austin Reaves, and who knows what happens by the playoffs, is Ginobili, right? In an ideal world,
On a championship team,
he's the killer sixth man, right?
Yeah.
On the Spurs, he'd be the sixth man, right? Especially back in the day.
The Spurs made that decision. And you know what Ginobili did?
Went
He
along
embraced it. Right. And how many championships they win? 5.
Yeah.
It's those type of decisions to be made.
You don't even have to be an insider to see how disrespectful this is. Reporters and analysts blasted him right away. They called his words unfair and unprofessional. They said this is exactly the kind of mess that makes a team explode if it keeps happening.
I think that's unfair to Austin.
Yeah.
I think this kid has shown that he can be, a go-to guy on the winning team. He's improved every single season.
You have to understand why this is such a huge deal. Austin Reaves isn't some hype guy with a big social media page. He entered the league undrafted, which means he had 0 guarantees and no help at all. He had to fight for everything he has, unlike Lee Flupp. And guess what? He didn't just show up, he won when it mattered most. He played great in the playoffs under huge pressure while the whole world was watching. Then he signed a cheap contract to help the Lakers build a better team. That is the kind of move you expect from an old veteran, not an undrafted kid. Compare that to LeBron, who started with every advantage. He was picked first before even finishing high school, and the whole system worked for him. So Reaves being mad wasn't just about his ego, it was about respect and protecting what he worked for. Even away from the stats, he is the guy everyone loved in the locker room. He is the glue guy that teammates trust to keep the team together and keep everyone focused.
With his growth and the way he's continuing to improve and the trajectory that he's on right now, I have to disagree. I think he's earned the right to be a starter. I think he's a household name at this point in his career, and I think he'll only continue to get better.
You can't just tell a guy like that he's a bench player without starting a huge fight. Since Austin Reaves isn't a Klutch client, it's easy to see why Rich Paul feels safe trashing him. But things finally hit the boiling point. By halftime of the Hawks game, Reggie Berry, Austin's agent, had seen enough. He marched right up to Paul on the sideline and let him have it. People in the building say it was so intense that staff had to jump in and pull them apart. At that moment, everyone knew. Rich Paul's words weren't just talk anymore. They were a total wrecking ball to the team's spirit. This is exactly why Luka and Reaves' people had to fight back. This explosion was coming for a long time. Even before the weird defense comments, Luka was already dealing with constant hate. Analysts like Zach Lowe have always taken shots at Luka's defense. That's just part of being an offensive star. Everyone is coming for your head. It's true that teams attack him like Jaden McDaniels did in the playoffs. Critics love to use those stats to bash him, even though he carries the whole offense. But having this hate come from LeBron's own circle, that is toxic. Luka has actually been getting better on defense, but now his own team leader's agent is using it against him. Now look at Austin Reaves. This guy didn't have anything handed to him. He was undrafted in 2021 and had to claw his way into a starting spot. He came from out of nowhere and started dropping 20 points a game this season. He is the definition of hard work. Now imagine hearing someone say you should be a backup or traded away after you gave your blood, sweat, and tears for that spot. Reaves was playing like an all-star last year, and even coach JJ Redick said he deserves that respect. But this didn't just happen by accident. To see how Rich Paul and LeBron get away with this, you have to look at the system they built over 20 years. This power didn't happen by magic. Imagine a kid selling jerseys out of his trunk in Cleveland, then meeting LeBron James in 2002. That handshake changed everything. Fast forward and Paul starts Klutch Sports. Suddenly, he isn't just an agent, he's a boss that the whole NBA is scared of because he has LeBron's power. By 2025, Klutch became the most feared agency in the league. LeBron's influence was so huge that rules didn't even matter. The NBA even tried to make a Rich Paul rule, requiring a college degree to be an agent. But LeBron and Paul used their power to force the NBA to kill that rule. And it doesn't stop there. There are rumors he would dump his smaller clients just to protect his big ones. He acts like he and LeBron own the league, and Jeff Teague finally exposed it all on a podcast.
Anytime you say anything about Bron, people call you and say, hey man, you might want to chill. I know you got some funny stories and shit. So I know ain't nothing getting by they whole camp. They run the league. They whole camp run the league.
That is no lie. This is what NBA insiders whisper about when the cameras are off. Even legends like Charles Barkley have blasted them for being bullies. He says they twist a story and push teams around in ways no one else could. Barkley even ripped LeBron for using his power to shut people up, calling him a control freak who always has a plan. He's not the only one. Jeff Teague recently went off too, saying Klutch Sports runs the NBA like the mafia just to keep LeBron safe.
You know how that group works. They try to trade their players to where they want to.
Talk about the Rich Paul Klutch.
Yes, they do it the way they want to. Anthony Davis.
Look at the mess LeBron has made. For 20 years, he has picked the players, the coaches, and the bosses. Just ask Russell Westbrook or Frank Vogel. People get traded or dumped whenever LeBron and Rich Paul want it. LeBron just smiles and acts like he knows nothing while his team does the dirty work. You can see it everywhere. Remember Nerlens Noel? Paul reportedly told him to pass up $70 million and then vanished when Noel's value tanked. That is how they treat smaller players like pawns. Then there's Anthony Davis, who got fined $50,000 for a trade demand that Paul pushed in public. The league lets it happen because LeBron's agent gets special treatment. It's crazy. Don't forget Mark Termini, who sued Paul for millions in unpaid fees. The list of drama just keeps growing. Even Bronny being a Laker was a total setup. Tell me why a bench-level player gets picked for his dad's team over guys who actually deserve it. Exactly. Now the Lakers are stuck. They have the talent, but Rich Paul is poisoning the locker room from the inside. You can't win a title when your agent treats players like toys. Rich Paul has been untouchable, but the NBA is changing. Luka Dončić is the new king now. The old LeBron runs everything script is dying. The Lakers have to protect their players and stop the outside noise. They need to focus on basketball, not backroom power plays. Rich Paul and LeBron are crossing a dangerous line. If they keep trashing teammates, it will ruin LeBron's legacy forever. They can fix this now or the league will leave them behind. So what will it be? Do they stick to the old playbook and lose Reaves and Luka's trust? Or do they finally put the team first and stop the chaos?